Your mind has probably said this sentence many times. I can't. I can't do this. I can't speak in front of people. I can't understand maths. I can't change. I just can't. Think about the last time you said that to yourself. Maybe it was before an exam. Maybe it was when you tried to learn something new. Maybe it was when life felt too heavy and you thought, now, notice something important. When you say, I can't, usually nothing outside you has changed. The world is the same, your body is the same, your situation is almost the same. So what changed? A sentence in your head. Your legs still work, your brain is still there, your mouth can still speak. But that one sentence, I can't, is like a lock on a door that was never actually closed. In the next few minutes, I want to show you something powerful. Your mind is not always telling you the truth. I can't is almost never about your ability. It is usually about your belief, and beliefs can be changed. Imagine if every time your mind said, I can't, you had a way to answer back, to turn that thought around, and to move forward anyway. Imagine the exams you would attempt, the talents you would develop, the people you would talk to, the opportunities you would finally say yes to if I can't no longer controlled you. This talk is called Your Mind Says I Can't. This will change that. By the end, you will understand where that voice comes from, why it feels so strong, and exactly what to do the next time it appears. I'm not going to tell you a magic trick that makes life easy. I'm going to give you something better, a way to take back control from that small, loud voice in your head that keeps whispering, you can't. Let's change that voice, starting now. First, understand this. The voice that says I can't is not you. It's just a part of your mind. Your mind has one very old, very strong job: keep you safe. Thousands of years ago, safe meant don't go near dangerous animals, don't eat strange food, don't get separated from the group. Today, safe often means don't look stupid, don't be embarrassed, don't fail, don't be different. So when you face something new, difficult, or risky, your mind panics a little and says, I can't. Let's not go there. Let's stay where we are. It's safer here. That voice is trying to protect you. But in trying to protect you from embarrassment or failure, it also protects you from success, growth, and the life you really want. So the first big idea is this: I can't is not a final truth. It is a safety alarm. Sometimes alarms are helpful, but sometimes they go off when there is no real danger. Your job is to learn to say, thank you, mind, for trying to protect me, but I'm going to check for myself if I really can't or if I'm just scared. Think about the first time you tried to tie your shoelaces, or ride a bicycle, or solve a difficult maths problem, or speak a new language. At the beginning, your brain probably said, this is too hard, I can't do it. But was that really true? No, you didn't know how yet. There's a big difference between I can't and I don't know how yet. One closes the door, the other keeps the door open. I can't speak English closes the door. I don't know English well yet keeps the door open. That word yet is small but powerful. Every time you add yet to I can't, you turn a dead end into a road. I can't solve this problem becomes I can't solve this problem yet. I can't talk to new people becomes I'm not comfortable talking to new people yet. I can't control my anger becomes I haven't learned to control my anger yet. You are not a fixed object. You are a learning system. You change every day you are alive. So the second big idea is most of your I can't statements are actually I don't know how to do this yet. You don't need to lie to yourself and say, this is easy. You just need to be honest and say, this is hard right now, but it's possible if I learn, if I try, if I practice. Why is I can't so dangerous? Because the moment you believe it, you stop trying. And the moment you stop trying, you stop learning. Think about it. A student thinks, I can't understand science, so they don't ask questions, they don't read more, they don't try extra problems, and then they really never improve. Someone thinks, I'm not good with people, so they avoid conversations, they don't join activities, they stay quiet even when they want to speak, and so they never get better at speaking to people. I can't becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You believe you can't, so you don't try. You don't try, so you don't learn. You don't learn, so you still can't. And now it looks like your belief was true. But the real problem wasn't your ability. The problem was that you gave up before you started. I can't kills more dreams than failure ever will. You know why? Because at least when you fail, you tried. You learned something. You grow stronger. But when you say, I can't, and walk away, you never even give yourself the chance to discover what you could become. Look at people who have changed the world, or even just changed their own lives. They weren't born with a special I can gene. They just refused to let I can't be the final answer. There are writers who were rejected many times before their books became famous. Athletes who were told they were too small, too slow, or not talented enough, who later broke records. Students who were called weak or average in school, but worked so hard that they became the best in their field. What did they all have in common? At some point, they heard, you can't, from others or from their own mind. And they answered, watch me. You may not be planning to be world famous, but in your own world, the same rule applies. The first person in your family to go for higher education, the first to start a business, the first to become truly confident and kind in a world that is often angry and afraid. History doesn't just happen in big books. It happens quietly, in homes, in classrooms, in small decisions made every day by people exactly like you. Now, let's get practical. What can you actually do the next time your mind says, I can't? Here is a simple system you can remember. Step 1, catch the voice. Most of the time, I can't is automatic. It appears so quickly you don't even notice it. Your first job is just to catch it. When you feel yourself resisting something or wanting to run away, ask, what am I saying to myself right now? Am I secretly thinking, I can't? The moment you notice the thought, you've taken the first step to controlling it. You can even say in your head, there you are again, I can't voice. I see you. Simply noticing gives you a little space, a little breathing room. Next, instead of obeying that voice, question it. Ask, is this absolutely true? Have I tried everything? If my best friend was in this situation, would I tell them you can't? Or would I tell them to try? Often, you will find that you've only tried once or twice. You're afraid of looking stupid. You're imagining the worst case, not the most likely case. Here is a powerful question. What proof do I have that I can't? And what proof do I have that I might be able to if I keep trying? Your brain is very good at finding answers. If you ask it, why am I such a failure? It will list your failures. If you ask it, how could I improve just a little bit? It will start looking for ideas. Change the question and you change the answers you get. Step 3, change the words. Words aren't just words. They shape how you feel and what you do. So instead of saying, I can't, try these. This is hard, but not impossible. I'm struggling with this right now. I don't know how to do this yet. I'm learning. Step 4, shrink the task. Sometimes I can't appears because the task looks too big. I can't study all this.
I can't change my whole life. I can't become confident. Of course, it feels impossible if you try to do everything at once. So shrink it, break it down. Ask, what is the smallest next step I can do? You may not be able to study everything today, but can you read 2 pages? Can you solve 3 problems? Can you study for 15 minutes without distraction? You may not be able to become confident overnight, but can you talk to 1 new person today? Can you raise your hand once in class or in a meeting? Can you practice speaking in front of a mirror for 5 minutes? When the mountain looks too big, don't stare at the top. Just focus on the next step. Ask yourself, what is one small thing I can do today that my future self will thank me for? And then do that, no matter how small it seems. Step 5, collect evidence against I can't. Your brain believes what it sees again and again. If you always avoid challenges, your brain learns, I am someone who runs away. I really can't. But if you start taking even small actions, you collect evidence that you can. Each time you do something you thought you couldn't, tell yourself, look, I did it. That's evidence. Maybe I was wrong about myself. Write these things down in a notebook or in your phone. Call it your I can list. I spoke up in class today. I studied even when I felt lazy. I finished a task I had been avoiding. I tried again after failing. Over time, this list builds a new identity in your mind. I am someone who tries. I am someone who can grow. I am not limited by my first thought. Step 6. Change your environment. Your inner I can't voice becomes even louder if you are surrounded by people who always complain, people who always give up, people who laugh when someone tries to improve. You can't always change who is around you, but you can choose who you listen to. Spend more time with people who encourage you, people who are trying to improve themselves, people who say, let's figure it out, instead of, we can't. Read or listen to stories of people who overcame difficulties. Let their voices become louder in your mind than the voice of I can't. You become like the thoughts you hear the most, so choose them carefully.
Let's do a quick exercise. Think of one area of your life where you often say, I can't. Maybe I can't wake up early. I can't focus on studying. I can't make friends. I can't control my phone use. I can't stop worrying. Now, in your mind, listen to that sentence, I can't blank. Feel how heavy it sounds. Now, gently change the words. First, add yet. I can't blank yet. Then turn it into I can if I can improve at blank if I blank. For example, I can't focus on studying becomes I can't focus on studying yet. Then I can improve my focus if I keep my phone in another room for 1 hour. I can't make friends becomes I can't make friends yet. Then I can become better at making friends if I start one small conversation every day. Notice the difference. Nothing in your situation changed, but the way you speak to yourself changed. And when your words change, your feelings change, your actions change, and your life slowly changes. There will be days when I can't feels very strong. Maybe you are tired. Maybe you failed at something important. Maybe people around you are negative. On those days, remember this: you are not required to feel powerful all the time. You don't have to be fearless. You just have to stay in the game. On those days, your goal can be very simple. I will do one small positive thing. I will not believe everything my thoughts say. I will reach out to someone I trust and talk about how I feel. Asking for help is not a sign of I can't. It is a sign of wisdom. Even the strongest people you admire had mentors, teachers, friends, and family who supported them. When I can't is shouting in your head. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is whisper, I feel like I can't right now, but I'm going to take one tiny step anyway. That tiny step might be studying for 10 minutes, going for a short walk, writing your thoughts down, or just not quitting completely today. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is doing what matters, even while the fear is still there. Let's return to where we began. That small, powerful sentence, I can't. You now know it is a safety alarm, not a final truth. It often really means, I don't know how to do this yet. Believing it blindly will cost you your dreams, your growth, and your confidence. But you have the power to answer back. You've learned to catch the voice, question it, change your words, shrink the task, collect new evidence, and surround yourself with better influences. Will this remove I can't from your mind forever? No. That voice will show up again, tomorrow, next week, next year. Whenever you face something new, difficult, or risky, it will whisper, you can't, you're not ready, stay where you are. But now, you will not just listen, you will respond. You will say, maybe I can't do it perfectly, but I can do something. Maybe I can't do everything today, but I can take one small step. Maybe I don't know how yet, but I can learn if I try, if I ask, if I practice. The difference between the person who moves forward and the person who stays stuck is not talent, not luck, not magic. The difference is how they respond when their mind says, I can't. From this moment on, make a promise to yourself. Whenever your mind says, I can't, I will pause, I will question it, and I will choose at least one small action that says, I can try. You don't have to become a different person overnight. You don't have to win every battle with your thoughts. But if you keep choosing one more step, one more attempt, one more I can if, your life will slowly move in a new direction. One day, you will look back at something you once thought was impossible for you, and you will realize, I used to say I can't, but I was wrong about myself. Remember the title of this talk. Your mind says, I can't. This will change that. The change does not happen in a single moment. It happens in every moment when you refuse to let that thought be the end of your story. So the next time your mind says, I can't, I want you to smile just a little and say, thank you for your opinion, mind, but I am the one who decides what I can or cannot do. And today, I choose to try.
Thank you for watching this video.